Afternoon, good evening, welcome everybody, welcome to Nottingham High School. My name is Paul Spedding, I'm the current acting head teacher here at Nottingham High School, but from September when your children arrive, I will go back to my original job, which is the deputy head academic here at the high school, and I'll talk more about the new headmaster as we progress. So welcome, as I said, to tonight, the new Parents Introductory evening, and thank you most of all for selecting Nottingham High School, which I believe is the best school for miles and miles and miles around. I say that having 28 years of knowledge of teaching here at Nottingham High School. Tonight's event is for those of you joining the school in years 7 to 10. And we hope that you'll find everything that I'm about to say and in meeting the tutors later very, very useful throughout. All of this information will be sent to you a little bit later on by email, so don't worry about taking pictures of the slides or taking any notes or anything like that. I hope that your sons and daughters have received a real nice flavour for Nottingham High School over the course of today. Moving school, whatever point that you are, is an exciting time for all. It can be also a bit nervous, not least for the parents, and I'm sure that your sons and daughters will find it a little bit easier than you do once they start meeting all their new friends. So perhaps those of you that are a bit more used to Nottingham High School, maybe coming through our junior school, may introduce yourselves to a few of the parents tonight who are new to us as a school. So as I said, we hope you're looking forward to September. The school is thriving at this time. Academically, the exam results are the best they've been for a long time. In music, in drama, in sport, our wide variety of activities are at the highest standard, and I hope that your sons and daughters are really looking forward to getting involved in many of those things. The numbers in the school continue to allow us to invest in the infrastructure of the school, which is very, very important to us to keep developing so that we can keep ahead of the times. On screen at the moment you can see our Wellbeing Centre, which was opened in 2023. Hopefully some or all of you managed to see this centre during our open day way back last September. And you can see it's got many different areas for the students to go and relax in and seek support in should they wish. As I said, tonight is about getting to know the school. So inevitably that involves receiving quite a lot of information. I'll try and keep it to a minimal because I know that information overload can be difficult. But the tutor is a really, really important part of your life at the school. It's a bit of a triangle. The school, the tutor, the students. That's really, really important for us to ensure that we keep the information coming towards you as parents throughout the time that your sons and daughters are with us in the school. And in meeting the tutor tonight, you're meeting the most important person that you will hopefully keep contact with throughout their time with us. There are other forms of information quite clearly. The new Parents Guide which you've been sent has got lots and lots of information, some of which I will highlight tonight. The school website continues to be updated alongside the many, many newsletters which will come out. Those of you that are used to our junior school will know of the Waverley. In the senior school we have the Merle, which comes out every 2 to 3 weeks, full of lots of information about the students. That's key. What have they been doing? What might you like to keep up to date with? Okay, lots of really good photographs that they've been involved in during that fortnight or 3 weeks. I've just been writing the article for this week's Merle, and it's really interesting to be able to talk about the plethora of activities that were available on Activities Day on the Friday just gone, for all year groups right through from year 7 through to 10. Social media plays an important part in life. I'm sure many of you in this room have social media accounts as parents. I'm hoping not as students, but as parents. As a school, we tend to use two forms of social media. We are very big on Instagram, but also we use our Facebook accounts. We have moved away from X over the past year or so please look to sign up, look to invest into our different forms, and look now before you come in September to see what's coming for you, for your parents, sorry, not your parents, that wouldn't be very good, for you, for your sons and daughters come September. So as I said, who is there to support you? Well, the tutor is the first port of call. Your sons and daughters will meet their tutor on 3 occasions a week, and hopefully, if you're still here through to year 10 and they're still teaching with us through to year 10, you will have 4 years of really good communication where they become your first point of contact. Even as deputy head and as acting head at the moment, I'm still a tutor. I value the role, the ability to have contact with the parents of my tutees, the ability to support them in everything that they do, from their academic life, from their social lives outside of school, to the sports and many, many activities that they'll do in school, I feel is really, really crucial for me as a tutor, as do the other 72 tutors here in school. But alongside that, we have other people involved in our pastoral, or what we call our individual system. Mr. Hipkiss and Mrs. Turney from September will be our senior tutors, and their job is to oversee the role of the tutors. We also have heads of year. Mr. Shabir, who you've met today, the students, and hopefully many of the parents have met, is the head of year 7. Dr. Lakin, head of year 8. Mrs. Andrews from September will be head of year 9, and Mr. Allison will be head of year 10. There's a further layer of support above all of that. So Mrs. Michaela Smith is our assistant head individuals for year 7 to 10, and it's her role to support the senior tutors and all the tutors who are working with your sons and daughters. And then above her, Miss Gritty has overall responsibility for the individuals within this school. And we talk about individuals because in front of me now I can see around 100 individuals. Not one of you will be alike, and that's why we talk about individual care here at Nottingham High School. That's incredibly important to us. There's lots more support, and many of this can be found in the Wellbeing Centre. Miss Potter, our nurse, Mr. Glave, our learning support lead, and then Miss Coles and Mr. Samra, our physical and mental wellbeing leads. All great additions to the school in the past 18 months, and all people that support our students every day, day in, day out. Again, all these details can be found in your parents' guide. So what about from September? Well, year 7 and 8 is predominantly around form groups. How are they decided? Well, they're decided based on the language choices that your children have chosen. So they've chosen 2 modern foreign languages from French, German and Spanish, and that's how we've put them into their form groups. Now, because of this, we're unable to accommodate any changes in forms at this period in time. But it usually works out. Year on year, there are not usually any problems from this. You're then taught in those forms across all your subjects. There are a few subjects, however, where you split into smaller groups, such as our technology subjects. Our food and nutrition, art, design and technology are taught in even smaller groups, and you may be in groups with students from other classes at that point in time. Sometimes also, the language classes are split in half, and you may end up with half of 7A and half of 7B doing a particular language. And this system tends to stay throughout year 8 with very little change in the students in year 7 to year 8. As we progress through the school, year 9 is based on options, and about half the subjects are taught in forms, the rest are option groups, and then year 10 becomes purely options. That's a while away for most of you in this room who are just about to join us in year 7. I suppose my overriding message is, please don't worry. Friendships will develop very, very quickly. The staff are here to help you. You will integrate well into Nottingham High School. I've always felt over many, many years that there is a place for everybody, whatever you are, whatever the individual here at Nottingham High School, and that's really, really important. And just remember, if you're joining us in Year 7, about half of you are coming from schools that are not our junior school. So there are lots of you who may have walked into the school this morning being the only child coming from your own junior school. And that is true year on year on year, and that is never a problem. 1 or 2 weeks in, everything will sort itself out and you'll have lots of new friends. A quick slide on term dates. I think people always like to know when they can book a holiday. So here you go. And if you really want to know the term dates for the year after, they are also on the school website now. I suppose the headline news is, please try not to book holidays outside of our term time. Okay, we are very generous with our holidays. We give you lots of time to go on holiday, including 8 weeks in the summer. So please try and book your holidays when we are actually not in school, because we feel obviously that the education of your sons and daughters is incredibly important. A few things on logistics then, if I may. So school uniform and other things, there are lots of stalls in the dining hall which we will move into after this talk. And you can talk to people about school uniform, buses, etc. So our school uniform is done by School Wear Solutions. It's very, very easy and it gets posted to you. You can also make appointments at the shop as it says there. All information, guess what? It's in the new Parents Guide. To get to school, we're obviously a city centre site. It's not normal for schools to be in the middle of a city, so we're quite unique. But we're also unique in the fact that we have a tram stop, which is very, very helpful if you're able to jump on a tram. It makes life very, very easy. School buses run, and there's information around school buses in the dining hall too. We also allow parents to drive into our yard in the morning and on an evening to help with pickup. And we also have wraparound care until 6 p.m. at night in our after school club, should you wish your son or daughter to stay with us to do that well-planned homework that they should be doing for the next few days, let's say. If you're absent, again, just a really small thing, please email us in. We have a separate EXI at Nottingham High School email. Permission is needed for extended leave. I talked about holidays, please, hopefully during holiday time, but if there are extenuating circumstances, then please do write in to the headmaster who will consider your ask for that extended leave. We are a cash-free site. It's a really useful thing. We all use these, our thumbs, okay? This is your passport to buying your lunch, your passport to many things in school. We also have our Wise Pay system in school for you, the parents. It's really, really easy to use. It's on an app. You can pay for school trips. You can top up lunch money, music lessons, catering, Duke of Edinburgh Award, all sorts of things can be paid for on there. If you already have a child in the school, then you just add in another child to make it work. It's a really useful system. That said, we are looking at this present moment in time to evaluate this system, and there may be more news on this within a year or so for those of you that don't think it's as good as maybe I do for some things and not for others. So, lunch, how does it work? Well, you eat it. Okay, it's really simple. Okay, you can bring a packed lunch if you wish, or you can buy from the school, as I said, with your thumbprint. We have halal options on some days, hot meals, cold meals, salad bars. I think the lunch here is excellent. It's a really great thing to fill up at lunchtime. The dining room is a no phone zone, so it's lots of conversation, lots of chatter. Lots of our students sit in there for 30, 40, 45 minutes and just socialise with their friends. Really nice place to be on a lunchtime if you're not in one of the fantastic co-curricular clubs that are on offer. So I'm just going to take a pause there from routine things to talk about more of the academic side of school life for Year 7 and beyond. There's information on the screen, as you can see, around homework. The key information for Year 7 is that there's no homework in the first 2 years. Oh, whoa. Sorry. Don't think the new head's too happy with me at the moment. No homework clearly in the first 2 weeks. Sorry guys and girls on that one. First 2 weeks of year 7. We do that quite clearly because we do want you to settle in. It's very tiring those first 2 weeks. The first 2 years are also tiring, but the first 2 weeks are very tiring. And we really do want you to just enjoy being at school. At the end of those 2 weeks, we send you on a trip together as a year group to do some activities, outward bound type activities, and again, get to know your classmates, people in your house, all those kinds of things together. Really, really great couple of days away. As you can see, year 8, 9 and 10, you are straight into homework. So sorry for those of you that are joining us in year 8, 9 and 10, but you're straight into it from there. Now, we use a system called Google Classroom. We've been using this since that word COVID in 2019. And we have a bring your own device policy. So we ask that each student has a device. We don't stipulate the device. There's advice already being sent to you around some recommendations. We tend to say that a laptop in year 7, 8 and 9 is probably the best thing. It doesn't have to be all singing or dancing. It doesn't have to be a MacBook. It just needs to be a really nice basic Chromebook or laptop that we can use as an extension to your pencil case. And the teachers will advise you when to use it, when not to use it within a classroom situation. A little bit like in a maths lesson when your maths teacher says, right, take your calculator out now, you're going to be using your calculator. If you're further up, so those of you who join us in year 10, you may wish to consider whether an iPad may be more user-friendly as you progress through the school to looking at past papers into your GCSEs and ultimately your A-levels. But more of that can be discussed with your individual tutor or other members of staff. Homework can be submitted electronically. Also, we still do use paper, and we're probably about 50-50 as a writing on paper using the bring your own device as well. The Google Classroom that I talked about looks a little bit like this. This is a screenshot from one of my classes from a couple of years ago. And you can see it has information about what's been set. It has information about whether it's classwork, when it's due. Over on the right-hand side, you can see a history. Why we like Google Classroom as a school is because it stores everything that's been done throughout the year. And the massive advantage of that is at this time of year, our current year 7, 8s and 9s have just done their exams at the end of the year. And they can go back and see all their resources that's on there to use for their revision. So it's really, really useful. As parents, you can see this. All you need to do is ask your son or daughter for their login details, and you can have this as an app on your own mobile phone as well to see what they need to do on a daily basis. It has a to-do list, and so that's really easy to see when things are due or not. But as I said, we tend to give somewhere in the region of 4 to 6 days to complete homework. Now, you may think that's quite a long time, but the students at Nottingham High School are very, very busy. There's lots of things going on. There's lots of things going on in life outside of school, and it's about training them with their own time management as well. And that's really, really important that they get used to that, rather than homework being set one day and then due in the next day. There is none of that here at Nottingham High School. And just as a bit of a start for that, your sons and daughters can log on to their summer transition for year 7. The English department have given them a book today, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, and they'll be starting to read that over the summer. And as part of that, there'll be some tasks appearing over the summer for them to do, and all of that is in preparation for their initial 2 to 3 weeks of their English lessons when they arrive at Nottingham High School. So keep your eye open for that. Some really nice things just to get you into the swing of what to expect here, particularly in the English department when you arrive. I've talked a bit about co-curricular. Mr. Alexander, who I'll introduce a bit later, runs our co-curricular programme. But we have a little mini D.V., shall we say, mini Duke of Edinburgh, called the High School Award. It balances lots of different things, as you can see. And one of the big things about this is we celebrate the achievements of the students at the end of the year when we celebrate those students in year 7 and 8 who have achieved their high school award. as I say, it's a little bit like Duke of Edinburgh, and it does set them up then for when they go into Year 9. This year we had 100 of the 119 students in Year 9 actually took part in Duke of Edinburgh. So something to really look forward to for those of you who are in Year 7 and 8, and even more so for those of you that are in Year 9 and 10. You play a big part as parents in encouraging your sons and daughters to be part of this co-curricular programme. I think the last time Mr. Alexander mentioned it to me, there's about 130 co-curricular clubs each and every week that we have here at Nottingham High School. The website's got lots of details, but Mr. Alexander sends out lots of information to everybody about this. And in Year 7 and 8, we make it compulsory that all students attend 2 clubs per week on a lunchtime to ensure that they are taking part in a wide variety of activities, which is very, very important alongside of their academic abilities. Sport plays a big part here at Nottingham High School. We've had lots of success last year. The girls' netball just missed the national finals by 1 goal. The under-16 boys won the national hockey finals. The under-15 girls won the Midlands hockey finals. And our rugby team got to the semi-final in the national plate competition at senior level. That's a few highlights. And that's in our main sports. We've also become bouldering champions in climbing, came 4th and 5th in national swimming finals, just on some of our other sports. So lots and lots of highlights. If I could stand here and talk for 3 or 4 hours on the sport and other things. For you, the cookery sponsorship, cookery kit is what we wear here at Nottingham High School. And again, there is more information on this in the dining hall for you to discuss and in our parent guide. So, I'm going to take a break. Now, this gentleman, shall we say, on the screen is Mr. Holman. And Mr. Holman is our new headmaster from September. And like you, he's just absorbed all that information that I've just given you in the last 15 or so minutes. So Mr. Holman's just going to say a few words. Andrew.
Well, if I can stand here. Can you hear me at the back? Oh, brilliant. Good, that's great. Warm welcome. I'm not going to spend very much time here. I just wanted to sort of say hi, seeing us on the premises anyway. Mr. Spedding invited me for the day. I've been doing a bit of swatting up myself, and it's been a very, very similar experience that I'm having as it is for a lot of the pupils here as well. I'm not going to explain, parents, very much about who I am at this stage and all the rest of it, because that will steal the thunder from what the purpose of today is, but also will mean that you'll hear it all again at some point in the future, I'm sure, at a concert or on the edge of a sports field or something like that. I've got 2 or 3 things I think it is probably worth saying though. So to start, I'm looking at the pupils here. As Mr. Spedding said, you've had a huge amount of information to absorb just in the last 15 minutes, if not for the rest of the day. So in that sense, you and me are in exactly the same position. I have met so many staff in particular in the last 5 months. Don't tell them this, but most of them I've already forgotten their name. I still remember their face and I know what they do, and you will have that same experience. Please don't assume that absolutely every detail that you've been told in the last few days, weeks, months, whatever, is going to be remembered straight away, because that leads to, I've been counting, and I think the word that Mr. Spedding has said more than any other word in the last 15 minutes, because I have been counting, is support. And I don't think that could have come across any clearer if Mr. Spedding had tried. The number of ways as pupils that you are going to be supported through your teachers, through your tutor, obviously through your parents, through me and through each other could hardly be clearer. So I hope that however slightly nervous you are about be it starting for the first time ever at Nottingham High School or continuing into the senior school at Nottingham High School, you realise how well you're going to be supported. Being a little bit worried is absolutely fine, a little bit nervous, it's a new challenge for all of us, and I include myself in that, and that you're going to be absolutely fine because you'll be extremely well supported, as I hope I will be as well. The only other thing I wanted to say, because this again I think pupils in particular is a connection that you and I both have in terms of whatever we're going to be doing from the 1st of September. So another word which hasn't been mentioned at all, but I think it's really, really important, is privilege. You and I both share the privilege in one way or another, and I imagine my process might have been slightly different from yours, to having been chosen by Nottingham High School. It doesn't get much better than that. Parents, I used to work here 20 years ago. It was so good I came back for another look. This is an incredible school. It is. It's absolutely amazing. And children, whether you've been here 5 years or 5 minutes, you could not hope to be in a better school. I feel privileged that the governing body of Nottingham High School have chosen me to lead this school from September. I hope all of you, and don't feel that it's a pressure, it's not, it is a privilege to come to this school, to take part in the opportunities and activities that Mr. Spedding has talked about, to have that level of support from the teachers and have all of this world of wonders in front of you for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever that might be. What a fantastic opportunity. We are all, you and me, very, very lucky people, and we will be learning together about Nottingham High School, all that it offers. If I bump into you in a corridor come September and I've got a little map in my hand, or I come out of a cupboard because I thought it was a corridor, you can help me as much as I will help you. I'm perfectly used to coming across gaggles of year 7s, not quite sure where W7 is or who Mrs. something is. That's absolutely fine. We will learn together. I bet you by Christmas that we'll all be absolutely fine. I look forward, parents in particular. I won't see you as often, I imagine, I hope not, as I will your children, but all of those wonderful things, some of these things that Mr. Spedding's been talking about in terms of the opportunities, I'm sure that I will get to see you all, meet you, get to know you over the next few years, and I look forward to that and seeing how your children develop. Thank you very much, Mr. Spedding.
Thanks, Mr. Holman. I think Mr. Holman's just hanging around for about 15 minutes after this, if any of you want a quick chat with him as well. So just to finish off very quickly, because I know that you have some appointments to get to, the induction process continues, and that support that Mr. Holman just mentioned continues. So first day, we look forward to seeing you all bright and early on the 3rd of September. And then for those of you in year 7, you have a fantastic picnic where you can all gather again on the front lawns. That residential that I talked about at the end of the first 2 weeks, and then we have our open day where all of a sudden you become experts in our school, and the next lot of year 7s we're looking to come through the doors, we start to show around. So lots of, it soon comes around, that year soon flies. For year 8, a very similar story. Welcome on the 3rd, on the Wednesday. The school finishes. No Mount Cook for you, I'm very, very sorry, for years 8 to 10, because you're doing your homework, obviously. And the Saturday is the open day as well. So questions. I hope there are still some questions left, because it wasn't my intention to cover everything. There'll be many of us around, and I'm just going to ask a few of my senior staff to quickly walk to the front so they can wave at you. If you could, SMT, just walk to the front, then you know who they are. So if you've got general questions, you can talk to me. Miss Gritty is hiding over there in the corner. Mrs. Smith has now done a runner. She'll be in the dining room. Any questions on homework? Myself, Mrs. Simpson is also at the back waving at you all down the middle. Other support staff in there around wise pay, uniform, etc. Mr. Alexander is at the back right there giving a big wave. He's our sport man, our co-curricular, all of that. Have a chat to him about those opportunities. Anything to do with IT, we've got information about that, and music lessons as well. So I think I've done it. Okay, I have 2 minutes to spare. Some of you have appointments at 4:35 and then onwards in our dining hall. Others of you have got a slightly more relaxed journey into dining hall with probably appointments at 4:45 onwards. We'll be hanging around until at least 5:30 for conversations. Please do come and have a chat to us. There's some food. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you all over the next 7 years. Thank you.